I'm Ruth Sheehan with eXp Realty, and I wanted to tell you a little about my story and why I'm here. So there's some videos on this page that you can watch to get more of the nitty-gritty, but I want to tell you my story. So I've been a realtor for a number of years now, and when I started, I joined a company that was going to give me minimal support for maximum split commission. And I wanted to do that, I thought, on purpose, because I'd run businesses before. I didn't need help with that. One of the businesses was an online marketing business, but I didn't need help with that. And I didn't want the billboards they were offering me or the newspaper ads or the things that I knew were not going to help me get customers. I had ideas about running my own business. I've always been an entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur. And that was what I was looking for. So I didn't know what I didn't know though. And one of the things I didn't know was how to be a realtor. So I hired a mentor and I bought some classes and I learned pretty quickly how to do that part of the business. It led me to some decent success. And a couple of years in, I really wasn't unhappy where I was, but one of my colleagues invited me to an event. And she said, I'm going to this event, I'd love for you to join me. We're going to, she and her husband are going to transfer to this brokerage. And I said, you know, I'm fine. Nothing's wrong here. I have no reason to explore other options. I'm not moving, everything's fine. Inertia is a powerful force. So she said, that's okay, just come to the event. You don't have to move, anybody from any broker can come. So I said, okay. Well, it ended up that I wasn't able to attend the event. I had to cancel. So then my colleague came and she said, Terry Jeffries, the broker, is disappointed that you're canceling, and she would love if you'd come in and sit down for a few minutes and talk to her about her current company. I said, you know, Mary, I'm fine. I'm not leaving. Everything's fine here. Nothing's wrong. So she said, that's okay. Terry just liked to talk to you. You should always know what else is available and what's going on. So I went in and I sat down at our appointed time in Terry's office and we started chatting. And I said, Terry, I have to tell you up front, just so you know, I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm not moving. Everything's okay where I am. She said, that's great. I don't want you to move. I just want to tell you what else is available in case that ever changes. So I said, fine. I sat there. Terry told me about the company. We started chatting. We traded stories. We found out we had a lot in common. And I also found out how much she knows about real estate. And I saw an opportunity to learn a lot more than I had with all of the money that I had spent and all of the people that I had hired to teach me. And I said about 10 minutes into the conversation, so is there like a form I need to fill out, or how exactly does this happen? I was moving, and I did. So again, I was at that company. I learned tons from Terry. She was a great new mentor for me, and she was a really good managing broker. So I was kicking and screaming when she took me to lunch and told me that she was moving to a new company. I didn't want to go. I was fine. Why did we have to leave? She told me about the opportunities with eXp, and I said, I'm not interested in recruiting. I sell real estate. And by the way, to you, I do. I sell a pretty good amount of real estate. It's September. We just closed our 30th sale. I think we're at about $9 million. So not, you know, breaking any national records by any means, but we sell a pretty good amount of real estate, solid stats. That was what I wanted to do. Didn't want to be a recruiter. She said, that's okay. You're gonna love what eXp gives you to sell real estate. She could not have been more right. This company, the technology, the tools, but really the peer support, the training and education that we are able to avail ourselves of all the time, all day long, in our virtual office is amazing. I have more tools to help me and my team sell real estate than I ever imagined. I had to convince my husband that it made sense financially. So we looked at the numbers, and I was coming from what called itself a 100% brokerage, and moving from that to a company with a 20% split didn't look like a good option. But when you factored in all the additional incentives that eXp has for producing agents, it did make sense. We make more money at eXp than we ever made at a previous company, by far. This year, we should hit icon status, which will pay us back our cap in stock, and we will be at far more than 100% when all is said and done. So if you're an agent that actually sells real estate, there is no better company than eXp as far as I'm concerned. If you're interested in building a team or running your own brokerage, then this opportunity is, again, seriously like no other. I'm not gonna get into all the details. That's just my emotional appeal to you. Basically though, what really hit me recently was somebody putting the numbers in this context. If you want to retire, and somebody else said recently, I've never been to a retirement party for a realtor. If you wanted to retire, a financial advisor would tell you how much you need to have basically in the bank, and then how much you could withdraw every year to have a certain status, a certain standard of living. And so if you saved $2 million in cash and you drew that at 3%, you would make $60,000 a year. Okay, how long does it take you to save $2 million? And what bank at this point are you gonna put it in to make 3%? But even if it were in, a higher yield account, that's a lot of money to try to save. I don't even know what that is a year. It's a lot more probably than I make in the years that I have left. You could, conversely, not be a recruiter, but talk to a few people, talk to some agents that you know, share your great experience like I'm doing now, share the opportunity of eXp. And if you brought in a couple agents at a time, 2 or 3 a year, over a 5-year period, it's not that hard to get to 10. By the way, if you recruit 10 agents in 5 years, nobody is going to call you a recruiter. Nobody's going to run when you walk into a room. You're not a very good recruiter if that's what you're focusing on and those are your results. So that's a pretty simple thing to do. And if each of those 10 agents brought one friend along with them over that 5-year period, you'd be at that $60,000. It's pretty simple. Check out these videos. Let me know what you're thinking. Let's have coffee, chat, and I know you're fine. You're fine.